Good evening, everybody. September 10th, 2021. Bitcoin had some dumping today. Obviously, we came down and broke below this previous low here, which to me says that this was all the C wave we were going to get there, if in fact this is going to progress downwards, basically. So let me go through a couple things here based on this micro action, and let me be pretty clear here though that none of this is really productive action, and so we don't really have a clear setup no matter what we're looking at. But the danger here is that we have the start of a first wave down here, the finish of a first wave down here, and then with this A, B, and C, we have a second wave in place there, and then that means that we're going to project downwards quite a bit. So if I draw a Fibonacci extension like so, because this is our 1 and 2, and let me make the color different here, we'll put it in blue. Then what we're really looking for is potentially a move down from here, from the second wave. We may see this accelerate because this is a third wave, all the way down to like 36 or so, before retracing a little bit and then ending up down here around 33. And then we'd have a larger retrace and then one final push down, all the way down. It projects to between 31 and 32 and a half, basically anywhere in this range. If this actually plays out impulsively, that's kind of what it would look like. And so that projects us down basically all the way back down to 30K, which none of us really want to see, but it is something that we need to keep in mind as the bearish scenario. The other thing to keep in mind, I've shown the ultra bearish chart before, which actually projects us down even further to like 18 to 20K. That's certainly on the table if this ends up playing out as well. So there is the bearish take on this, and more support of that is that we kind of had this micro 5 down right here earlier today. It's a diagonal, which isn't really a great trading cue, to be honest, but it is potentially 5 waves. Now this might not be correct. This might be more like this. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just trying to figure out, this is all, like I said, pretty low quality action, so I'm trying to figure out where these things might be. You know what, that actually makes sense as an impulse. If I put this in yellow, I can show you what I'm talking about, or let's do like green maybe. So I'm changing that interpretation to say that this is actually potentially an impulsive move down here, with a 1, 2 right there. 3 went all the way down to the 1618, which is where we would expect it to go. 4 came up here to about the 10, and then 5 went all the way down to the 20. So this is very possible that this is a completed 5 wave down, which would kick off that next move downwards, like I said. So that being said, let's find out where then, if this is our first wave of the third, where we would expect the second wave to go. So we're going to draw a fib like this, and I'll put it in yellow. So at this point, we would expect to see the second wave really typically go anywhere in this range. I'm going to extend it a little bit further. It could go all the way to the 764. I mean, it could even go to the 886, but main region this ends up topping out in is right in here. So we technically have already hit that right now. We've hit that resistance box. So if we just break down from here and continue breaking down lower, then I don't think we have any any recourse except to say, yeah, we probably are in that larger impulse down, unfortunately. So, but really, let's keep a close eye. Anywhere in this red box here that we get is going to be kind of danger zone. And it certainly looks like we're getting a little pullback now. Typically this would be a three-wave move, so we should see probably a push up a little higher, maybe a little retrace like this before a push higher. Somewhere into that 45, 46,000 region would make sense for this. And if that's the case, then this would be, like I said, a little micro first wave, second wave, and then we'll see an acceleration downwards from there in the larger third wave down. So there's our bearish take. We definitely need to see this red box broken for that to not be the case. And even better, we need to see these regions here, this 47.4, that needs to get taken out before I can consider the possibility that we've already bottomed here as being high probability. Now it is certainly possible that we have already bottomed. I mean, we've gone, kind of spiked down into this liquidity zone in here, and we kind of spiked down here and popped back up as well. So it is possible that we've already bottomed or will soon. But like I said, I'm not going to trust it until we get back above this high 47.4, and really we should see some sort of five-wave move up above that level, and then maybe a little retrace down in order to really say that we have officially bottomed and we can get back to bull times. In the meantime, it is very wise to be protective in your positions and be very cautious of this potential further breakdown that we could have here. So I said earlier today that breaking 45.4 was a bad sign, which we did, and breaking 44.4 was a bad sign, which we did. And so, that doesn't mean that we immediately go down from there. I'm just saying those are levels that we should have held in order to keep the pressure upwards, and obviously we did not. So I am leaning towards a bearish scenario now, but we really anything can happen on the weekend, so we really could see anything go here. So all right, let me look on the bullish front if there's anything I can say. I think the biggest thing I can say, it's not even really bullish necessarily, but on the daily, I've talked a couple times now about looking for this RSI to come down and retest that breakout. We haven't reached it yet, so further downside is certainly possible from here, but the kind of bullish scenario would be that we go like A, B, C down to like 38, somewhere in here right around the 1.0, or even down to 36.5 potentially. So that's kind of the bearish scenario anyway, to be honest with you. But my bear scenario, remember, took us all the way down here to 31 to 32. So the more bullish scenario would be this is just corrective action taking us down to like 36 to 38 instead. And obviously the super bullish scenario is, like I said, on the micro, if we can get that micro five wave up and break 37.4 or 47.4, then we can look at a more immediate bullish scenario. But at the moment, I don't see that as the primary scenario. I think we're probably coming down lower here. So I'm very happy that I stopped out at that 50,000, 50,800 level that I said I was stopping out at. I'm just gonna sit in cash now until we have a more clear bottom in place, and we'll go from there. But I'll certainly keep an eye on this daily RSI. Like I said, if it looks like it's retesting that daily RSI around the time we get to here, then perhaps we're not going all the way down in this bearish scenario. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So unfortunately, not great news for bulls on this action, but let's see what happens on the weekend. Like I said, low liquidity times on the weekend can really lead to pretty much anything happening, and we'll just have to take it day by day here and protect your capital. That's the most important thing in trading. All right, guys. Good night.